Now we're going to make the text objects that are going to actually fill out our scorecard for our par, track our holes, as well as each player's score. The first thing we want to do is select our scorecard, and we're actually going to set the width to 325 rather than 125. It's okay if you don't, but I think the spacing just looks a little better. And then under our scorecard, we're going to create an empty object, and we're going to rename this one to holes. Just like that. And then now on this holes object, we want to right click UI and select text. This is going to be the text for our hole numbers. So we want to change this one to 1 because of course we are going to start with hole 1. And then we're going to adjust this position X value on the rect transform up here to line it up with the center of that little grid there, so we can see in our canvas in our scene view that we're lined up properly. We're going to change our color to white, and we're going to bump the font size up just a little bit to 24. Now if we click on the pause Y option and drag to the right, we can actually bump that up as well. So we can use pause X to center it and pause Y to line it up properly. Looks like 10.5 and about 45 looks pretty good. Yeah, we can work with that. And then from here, we need to rename this to hole 1. Oops, no, hole 1, hole 1. Hole 1, just like that. And then we are going to select hole 1 and duplicate it, and then use the position X tool to move it over. Looks like 33 is probably about good. And then we're going to change this to 2, rename it to hole 2. And we're just going to repeat this process over and over again for each of the 9 holes. So we go to hole 3, move it over, change the text to 3, rename it to hole 3. Just like this, again and again until we are satisfied. We have all 9 holes. There is hole 4, duplicate, move. We got hole 5, oops. Just like that. Change the text to 5. Perfect. Move it over again. We got hole 6 now. Change the text to 6. Hole 7. Move it over. Go. Hole 7. Do it again. Duplicate. Hole 8. Move that guy over. Change it to 8. And then finally, hole 9. Enter and duplicate that guy over. And of course, change it to a 9. Perfect. So we've got all of those set up. So now we're going to add our par counter. So we're going to select the holes object and duplicate that and rename this to par. And then we're going to use that position Y tool and move us down into the par slot. And then we are going to add par to the end of each of our names. So hole 1 par. And it's actually easiest if we just highlight and copy the par and then just paste that into each of our names here. So we can add par, 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 and par, just like that. And then we're going to hold the shift key, select the top object and the bottom object to select all of them. And we're going to change the text value all to zeros because we want our par to be 0 by default until we use a script to actually update it to match those pars that we used. We actually forgot we need to add one more number, so let's go ahead and do that now. Let's select hole 9 par and duplicate that. And we're going to rename this to total par. With a capital T and P, and then we're going to use that position X slider again to move it over to the right, just like that, and we're going to center that in that green section right there. So we need to add that because our total par is the pars added up for each hole, so we want to make sure that we have that there as well. So once we have that, then we can go ahead and save our scene.